Well, this is part two of Godcast. Something's going on with my system here. I don't know what it is. I think it's a Facebook thing, frankly. So I'll pick it up from verse 13. Then the king said to the servants, "Bind him hand and foot and throw him into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen." Then the Pharisees went and that's an unquote, by the way. That was the end of that quote, that story. Then the Pharisees went and plotted together how they might trap him in what he said, because they knew he was talking about them. And they sent their disciples to him, along with the Herodians, saying, quote, "Teacher, we know that you are truthful and teach the way of God in truth and defer to no one, for you are not partial to any. Tell us then, what do you think? Is it lawful to give a poll tax to Caesar or not?" Unquote. But Jesus perceived their malice and said, quote, "Why are you testing me, you hypocrites? Show me the coin used for the poll tax," unquote. And they brought him a denarius, and he said to them, quote, "Whose likeness and inscription is this?" Unquote. They said to him, quote, "Caesar's," unquote. Then he said to them, quote, "Then render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's," unquote. And hearing this, they were amazed, and leaving him, they went away. On that day, some Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to Jesus and questioned him, asking, quote, "Teacher, Moses said, if a man dies having no children, his brother, as next of kin, shall marry his wife and raise up children for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers with us, and the first married and died, and having no children, left his wife to his brother. So also the second and the third, down to the 7th, the last of all, the woman died. In the resurrection, therefore," which they didn't believe in a resurrection, "in the resurrection, therefore, whose wife of the 7 will she be? For they all had married her," unquote. But Jesus answered and said to them, quote, "You are mistaken, not understanding the scriptures nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. But regarding the resurrection of the dead, have you not read what was spoken to by God, spoken to you by God? I am the God," quote, "I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. He is not the God of the dead, but of the living," unquote. When the crowds heard this, they were astonished at his teaching. But when the Pharisees heard that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered themselves together. One of them, a lawyer, asked him a question, testing him, quote, "Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law?" I imagine he sounded, unquote. And he said to him, quote, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the great and foremost commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these 2 commandments depend the whole law and the prophets," unquote. Now, while the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them a question, quote, "What do you think about the Christ? Whose son is he?" unquote. Jesus asked them that. They said to him, quote, "The son of David," unquote. He said to them, quote, "Then how does David in the Spirit call him Lord, saying, 'The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I put your enemies beneath your feet,'" unquote. If David then calls him Lord, how is he his son, unquote? Because he asked, remember in verse 42, "What do you think about the Christ? Whose son is he?" They said, "The son of David." And he's saying, how can he be David's son if David himself calls me the Lord? That's what he was saying. Verse 46, no one was able to answer him a word, nor did anyone dare from that day on to ask him another question. Okay, that's Matthew chapter 22. I hope you'll go back and read it for yourself. It'll help you remember it. I'll talk to you later. And